all of you in a mute mode. And we are set. We're set for our next class. Focusing on yoga for the immune system this month. And as I talked about last week, you know, we don't say, you know, yoga can't cure all, but yoga can help all. Yoga can help all. Yoga can help all the systems within our bodies, and yoga can help all as far as all beings in some way get a sweet benefit from our yoga practice. So today, as we focus on our immune boosting qualities, may you find in whatever way you need support today for your immune system, whether that's preventative or, you know, if you're feeling a little run down, you just need some more energy, or to re-nourish you, refuel you. Today is that practice. So I'm going to head over to my mat so we can get started. So as you get settled, we'll start in just a comfortable seated position. And as you take your seat, getting settled, take a moment just to roll your shoulders up, back, and around. As we get prepared for our movements today, we will be putting some focus on the upper body and around the shoulders. If you were with me last week, we're going to revisit the Kundalini Kriya for the head and heart. All right, one more time around, and now just let those shoulders soften. And then dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder. In our Kriya, it's a lot of repetitive movements around the shoulders with the arms, and you know, although in our yoga practice we don't intend to create tension, sometimes the actions build some quality around tension in the muscular body. Bring the head up and dropping your left ear towards the left shoulder. So in the idea of, you know, creating this space where we can do that practice with more ease, less discomfort, our movement before the Kriya is going to really focus on warming things up in the shoulders and upper back. All right, now you have your left ear towards your left shoulder. I'm going to invite you just to do a few just back and forth movements of the head and neck. Our neck is that beautiful bridge, like physically, this bridge between the head and the heart. How we carry our head in the world and how we're able to allow the heart to lift and shine. All right, next time you drop your chin down more through center, just let it be. So your chin is a little more towards your chest, allowing the sternum, the heart center area, to lift a little more. Shoulders relaxed. Soften your jaw here. And then give yourself like 2 swallows. You have the chin down, so it makes a little more of a constriction in the throat, but using the swallows to let's give some energy in the back muscles there. And then lifting your gaze, lifting up. And then with relaxed shoulders, just as if you wanted to tilt up to look at the sky, think of really lifting, almost like a giraffe neck, and just look up. And then let the jaw just drop. Like you see something in the sky that's just awesome. Open your mouth up to the sky. And then let that relax and close. And bring your head back to a more neutral position. Any little shimmy as you reset. And then bringing your hands together at your heart center. So now that we created some movement, a little more ease between the head and the heart, around the neck area, we're going to center in with a few breaths, taking a mudra today. And the mudra is called Lotus Mudra. So if you're looking at your hands, they're pressed together like in prayer position. Keep your pinkies and your thumbs together And then allow your middle three fingers, your ring, middle, and index finger, to start to pull away. And then let the centers of your palms pull away. So then your hands are creating this, you know, like an open flower, right? A blossoming flower. The heels of your hands are touching, the thumbs are touching, the pinkies are touching, but then everything else is pulling away. And then elbows are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, and you can rest this lotus mudra right around the center of your chest. And now as you take this mudra, and as we settle in for a few breaths, start to cultivate a focus for you this morning. In what ways can your time on the mat in your yoga practice best support you, your health, your immune system? In what ways are you allowing yourself to receive the benefits of your practice, so that then you may also be a giver once you step off the mat, this giver of, you know, focus, of presence, of paying attention to whatever is taking place or whoever is with you. The lotus mudra is, you know, a position we take with our hands, and the symbol and meaning of the mudra ignites qualities of kindness, of compassion, of friendliness, equanimity towards ourselves, right? So how we see ourselves, how we feel and think about ourselves, and then also the world around us, right? So how do we receive and give these qualities? Mudras are, I might have shared this before with you, but I like to think of them as sign language, right? For, you know, the energy that we are, for even for the nervous system. We don't have to have all the answers, but if we place our hands in a special way, that placement knows the message, and it starts to send that through to your body, to your mind, to your energy, and even into your intentions. Taking a few more breaths here. How this lotus mudra and how these qualities, what do they have to do with our immune system? Well, when we cultivate qualities of compassion, of joy, of kindness to ourselves and to others, it stimulates the feel-good hormones. You can think of serotonin, dopamine, the endorphins, oxytocin. So whether we are on the giving or receiving end of these qualities, the chemical messengers of the hormones start to send that communication to all parts of your experience. And the feel-good hormones help us feel good. They boost our immune system. So today is all about how we can cultivate these qualities in the moment, on and off our mat. Three more breaths for you here. Beautiful. Now with your lotus mudra, keeping the mudra as you just lift those arms up and overhead. And then like you're creating a big, big lotus mudra around you, let the hands split, but visualize that you have these petals all around you as you bring those arms down, palms down, hands back to the earth, rooted here, right? So we've been sitting for a little bit with one shin in front. If you'd like, cross the other shin here. Okay. And then let's bring the hands back into the lap, but now interlace your fingers. Bring your arms up halfway, turn your palms away from you. So arms are just halfway up, long arms. Now take an exhale, draw the belly back, round your upper back and push your palms away. Take a moment just to feel into that quality. And now as an inhale starts to come in, lift tall through your spine, let the arms reach up, maybe take your gaze up to look to the hands. Pause there for a moment, breathing, feeling. And then as your next exhale begins, let the fingers go, let the arms go, return back to neutral. And then hands will place themselves back in your lap. So interlacing those fingers. Now we're going to flow with those actions with our breath. So settling here, on an inhale, bring the arms halfway up, turn the palms out. As you exhale, press the palms away, round your upper back. Inhale, draw up through the spine, gaze up. Exhale, release the arms, hands come back into the lap, interlace fingers. 2 more times with this. Inhale, arms halfway up, palms out. Exhale, press, spread the shoulder blades. Inhale, sit up tall, lift your gaze to the sky. Exhale, arms release. Last time, interlace the hands. Inhale, arms halfway up. Exhale, press the palms away, round the upper back. Inhale, sit tall, gaze high. And exhale, release the arms. Great. And then now with hands just down by the earth, walk them back behind you until they find each other behind your hips. Interlace your hands and then offer a stretch back. So reach those hands and arms back behind you. Starting to wake up sensation even more around the chest, the shoulders, down through the upper arms. And now releasing that, shaking that out. Great. All right, from our Sukhasana pose, stretching your legs out into staff. Sitting up nice and tall for yourself here. Ready to take a side and anchor those hands a little further off to your side. Keeping your left hand anchored, lift up with the right. And then exhale, side bend over to the left. Keeping both hips somewhat steady and level into the ground, and let sensation and the stretch crawl up that right side of the body. We create space for the breath and create space in the body, and it starts to feel good, right? So we know we're starting to kick up the feel-good hormones. All right, lifting up and out of that side bend, right hand down, left arm up. We'll take that over to the right, side bending here. Both hips will stay a little level. Let that stretch, that opening crawl up the left side. Take about 3 breaths here. Nice. And then rising all the way back up, back to your staff pose. Now from staff pose with the legs closer together, just broaden them slightly so that your feet are, 2.5, 3 feet apart, maybe somewhere in that region. They don't have to be super wide. And then taking your right leg, drawing it up, just plant your foot on the ground. Knee is going to be bent. Bring your right arm to the inside and left hand back behind you. Pause for a moment just to feel really grounded, settled into the roots of your legs. And then turning to your left, turn your heart to look straight to your left. And for now, it might feel good for the neck just to keep looking straight to your left. Or if you want to add some movement, you can turn to look around your back shoulder, your left shoulder. It might even feel nice to turn the head and neck and rotate all the way around to look over your right shoulder. And then wherever you are, find a little more neutral. Chin over the center of your chest and unwind. And then right leg will stretch out. Bring that left knee in so the left foot can comfortably be on the ground. Left arm to the inside of your leg, right hand behind you. Ground down through legs, through left foot, and then turning very gently around to your right. This is a nice way to wake up a twist and wake up around the hips. And maybe turning your gaze over the right shoulder. Or maybe even rotating all the way around to look over the left. And then finding that happy medium, chin back over the center of the chest, and unwind. And then now both legs stretched out. Again, just comfortably wide. Hands up onto your thighs. We'll do a little forward fold flow. So as you exhale, just start to fold forward. Let the hands slide down the legs. And then inhale, sit back up. And a gentle rocking here, not trying to over pull the back or around the hips or even the hamstrings. Just a little morning wake up. You can use your hands like a massage down the legs. We'll go 3 more times, forward and back. Exhaling forward, inhale up. Last time. Right. And then as you come back up, take a pause here. Right. And then we'll walk those legs back in, closer to staff pose, and give them a nice little wiggle out, shaking them out. All right. And now let's move it to table pose. So coming onto your hands and knees, making your way onto all fours, shoulders over the wrists, hips over those knees. And I just noticed as you settle into table, again, I forgot my clock so I can keep us on track, but I have my fancy little microphone so I can talk to you while I'm grabbing it. So as you are settled in table here and I'm grabbing my clock, coming back into your breath, starting to move with some cat-cow awakenings for your spine. As you exhale, draw the belly towards the sky. And then as you inhale, soften through the belly, and then lift hips, heart, head. And then again, exhale, draw the navel, draw the belly, and then up, rounding through your back. And inhale, curving the other way, lifting hips, heart, and head. How about 4 more here just for you? Waking up breath, waking up spine. And then after your next inhale into cow pose, reset table, tuck your toes, give a little more energy pushing down into your mat. And now lift your knees, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Adjusting around your down dog for a moment, taking it for a walk. Maybe one heel down and then the other. It might even feel nice this morning to sway the hips a little side to side as you walk out your legs. And when we're in down dog, a nice release for the head. Just really let some heaviness come into the head, create some traction down through the upper back and neck area. And then we'll find some stillness in your down dog. Stillness. In our yoga and in our life, it's still dynamic, right? We're not statues of stone. There's constant movement within us, but in the periphery, can we create a little more calm? Take 2 more breaths in your down dog. And then gently looking towards your hands, bending your knees so it's a little easier to walk your feet up towards your hands into a standing forward fold. Taking a moment to root down into your feet. And then with steady legs, releasing the head and heart as much as is comfortable, waking up this fold. And now catching the wave of your breath. On an inhale, hands come onto the shins. As you come up halfway, pull the heart long. And then exhale, release heart and head, fold forward. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. How about 1 more of those? Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root down and through your legs and all the way up, tall mountain pose. And then palms together, bringing those hands back to your heart. And then taking a moment here in mountain, opening up your lotus fingers once more. So coming back to lotus mudra in your mountain. Before we move through a couple sun salutations, right here, coming back to the heart of your practice, where the mind, the heart, your intention is awakened with each passing breath, each passing moment as you pay attention. Feel into the needs of your practice. Feel into the needs of how you're feeling in this moment. And as we flow, making all of that accessible to you through postures, through breath. Great. So at the top of your mat here with your lotus mudra, let's take lotus mudra on an inhale. Reach it up to the sky. And then exhale as you swan dive forward again, like big petals surrounding you. Dive into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back into your fold. Let's take the right foot, step it back for a lunge, pausing here. Settling in, lengthen through your spine as you steady that right leg, reach the heel back. One more inhale and exhale. Planting your hands, left foot is going back to downward facing dog. So lift the hips up as you settle into down dog. Grounding down into your hands. And then get ready for plank pose. On an inhale, shift the body forward. Keep steady through your legs. Pulling the heart and head long in front of you. Take an extra inhale. And then down to the earth, knees down, torso down, tops of the feet down. Inhale, little cobra pose, broadening the chest, opening the shoulders. Exhale, release your cobra. Tucking your toes under, lift through your knees, downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, taking your right foot and bringing it up to the sky. And then drawing a knee towards your nose as you step it up towards your hands. So right foot up towards your hands, and you may need to adjust it to help it there. And here we are lunging on the other side, feeling steady through the back leg, and then pulling from navel to heart, lengthening out through your spine. One more breath. And then getting ready to step forward, left foot meets the right at the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, big tall mountain. Find lotus mudra up above. And then pull lotus mudra back down to your heart. Take a breath here, maybe gaze down to your mudra. And then let's take another round. So on an inhale, take your lotus mudra up to the sky. Exhale, surround yourself with those petals. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, left foot's going to step back. This time, take your left knee down to the earth. All right, so a lower lunge. Settling in here on an inhale, lift up, reach your arms high. And now arms by your side, interlace them back behind you, offer a stretch back. Great. And now releasing arms, hands will come back to the earth, getting ready for downward facing dog. Lift left knee, right foot back to down dog. Taking a moment to settle in, really finding that foundation in your hands, connect to breath. Plank pose on an inhale, shift forward to plank. And then exhale, knees down, torso down, tops of the feet down. One cobra as you inhale, lengthen up, navel to heart, top of the head. Exhale, release. Tucking toes, once again, make your way to down dog. You can go through table or plank, and then downward facing dog. Really starting to generate some energy in the body, which creates heat. That heat can be really great for our immune system as well. All right, left foot, left leg. Let's bring it up just a little bit, create some space. And then left knee towards your nose as you shift your hips and body forward, bringing that left foot up by your hands. And again, moving that up if needed. All right, right knee down, settling in for a lower lunge. And now rising up with your arms. And then release the hands. And a little quiz here to switch things up. You may have a habit of placing one thumb on top when you interlace the hands. Switch that up. So place the other thumb on top. I always find it feels weird, but it's a good practice to change things. Switch up those habits. And then reach your arms back. And now letting go of the hands, shaking out those arms, hands back to the earth, lifting up into that right knee, and right foot will step up to meet the left, forward fold. On an inhale, rise all the way up. Again, meet your lotus mudra, and then bring the lotus mudra down to your heart. Settling in, feeling the circulation, the movement, going through your body. Your breath might be at a different pace now. And so just experience all of that. Imagine all those happy feel-good hormones, right? Flowing through the body and all the amazing streams of the body, helping you to feel more uplifted, helping your immune system to be radiant and strong, to do the work that it does for you. Nice. So when we're doing our practice, we can be in, obviously, this doer mode, right? We do our postures, we do the moves, we have an intention behind all that. And then we're also on the receiving end. So these moments of pause are just to receive, to feel. Is there a quality you're experiencing now? Is there a word that you could label for the quality you have now? Nice. All right, with your lotus mudra, take it all the way back up to the sky. And then arms out by your side, release. And give yourself a little wiggle out. And now if you're at the top of your mat, you can step wide on your mat so you can take your feet out, getting ready for star pose, turning your toes out gently. And then reaching those arms way out into a big star X. Y'all know where we're going. We're doing a little star and goddess here, but a little change up. As we move to goddess today, bring your hands into lotus mudra. And then as you rise up, spread that lotus mudra. It's like you're spreading the compassion and joy out into the world. Bring it in, receive, and inhale, offer it out. So just have a little fun with that little play. Bringing more meaning into your actions. Receive, offer out. Exhale, receive, bring it in. And offer it out. How about two more here? Exhale. Inhale, open up to your star. And then hands back on your hips here. Turning your feet maybe slightly in more. Nice. Bending your knees and then bring your hands onto your lower thighs. Now, generating some movement more around the rib cage. Take your right shoulder and you're going to drop it down by rotating your rib cage to the left. And now come through center. And now left shoulder will start to lower down as you rotate rib cage to your right. And now in your own pace, just go back and forth between those two. Just let the body breathe. Letting the movement generate whatever quality you need. Maybe it's a little slower movement, or it might feel nice to be faster. And the next time you make your way to the right, left shoulder down, come around through center. Right. And then now we're going to take the feet and walk them even closer together. So we still have our hands on our knees, just feet are coming closer together. Right. With some cat-cow action here, hands are on your lower thighs. Exhale, round your back, draw the navel to the sky, but tuck your tailbone under, draw the chin in. Inhale, open it up, draw the hips back, open the heart, look forward. How about 3 more of these? Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And 1 more. Now you're in that inhale opening. Go back a little more towards neutral here. Release the hands, bring them out halfway. Bend your knees a little deeper, getting ready for chair pose. So knees can go a little deeper, hips will get a little heavier. You're reaching your arms out. Now start to broaden up through the body, getting long up through the front body. Let the arms lift as much as is comfortable up to the sky. Nice. Chair pose, victorious pose. Standing strong and empowered. Take 2 more breaths. And then let it all go on your next exhale. Forward, fold, release over the body. Pausing here. From all of our strength that we stand in chair pose, we also take that strength when we humble ourselves and surrender. When we acknowledge the compassion, the kindness of others, those moments, those feel-good moments, but those humbling moments. So in your fold, slow things down. Maybe remember here a time when someone offered you kindness and you felt that. After your next exhale, inhale, halfway lift, slowly bringing up the heart and head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, tall mountain. And then hands to your heart. Exhale, finding lotus mudra once more. Beautiful. All right, releasing your arms by your side, shaking that out. Before we get ready to go into our Kriya, I wanted to offer I think it's a fun way to wake up the body even more, to get the shoulders ready for our Kriya, and to kind of enliven and boost our immune system. And this fun practice is called breath of joy. And breath of joy, right? It's not called breath of sadness, it's breath of joy. So hopefully it helps awaken some joy, bring some lightness to if you are feeling sad or, you know, kind of in the melancholy zone. The breath of joy kind of brings in this container to lift your spirits. So for this positioning, your feet are going to be just a little bit wider apart, not super wide, like wide-legged fold, but a little wider than hip width. And the reason is we're going to be taking a nice big forward fold in this breath of joy practice. So giving yourself this nice little cushy base, and your knees are going to be bent. So I find if I'm really close together, I can't access that. So finding that positioning for you. And with the breath of joy, there is a 3-part inhale. So you'll be gently, but effortfully, right? The effortless effort of breathing in 3 times through your nose. It will kind of sound like this. Right, so you're filling yourself up. And then a long exhale where you go, ha. So you get to hear yourself go, ha, this morning. All right. With our 3-part inhale, we get to add some movements. So on your first inhale, you bring the arms out to the side. So it's an inhale. Inhale, your arms will reach up. Inhale, and then ha. And I just did the wrong movement. So I'm like, wait, that wasn't right. Inhale, 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 ha. Right? And then you come all the way back up. I got my J-O-Y all mixed up.
You're almost like your own orchestra conductor when you're doing this, right? Like you're spelling out your own J-O-Y. On your inhales, you're just kind of pausing the breath in just for a moment as you do the little arm movements. And this breathing practice gives you this nice big inhale, full inhale, and then that big exhale, you just get to let it all go. So we're going to do just a few rounds of this. Some of you are already doing it, which I love. You might be familiar with this. So when you're ready, you're just going to exhale, get those knees ready, get your loose shoulders ready. And then when you're ready, take an inhale. Inhale, inhale, all the way up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Keep it going. Maybe lift your heart and gaze a little more when you're doing the inhales. How about two more? All right, give me a big long inhale. And arms by your side, exhale. Do a little roll through those shoulders. Reset your stance. Noticing how you're feeling, and however you're feeling is valid in this moment. Shifting that vibration, that activity. I enjoy half sun salutes in the morning, but sometimes I'm not feeling half sun salute. I need a little more pickup. Breath of joy is a great one to do in the morning. All right. So now, from your breath of joy, going back to the top of your mat just for a moment. Let's take a nice gentle fold. Knees can be soft. Let the torso hang comfortably over your legs. And now from here, planting your hands, walk your feet back towards downward facing dog. And now lowering your knees down. Keep your big toes together, broaden your knees, and setting your hips back towards your heels. You'll have wider knees, right? So lower your forearms down, and then maybe stretching all the way out into a child's pose. Having the thighs a little wider in child's pose, it's a little more quality of stretch sensation, opening around the back of the hip area, down into the hip crease area. Two more breaths here. From child's pose, using your hands, assist yourself up. Readjusting those legs a little closer together. And now swinging those legs around. Take a moment in staff pose here. Resting your arms by your side. Right. We're going to get ready to do our Kriya set. It's 3 different exercises. We'll do each one for a minute. Grab my phone so I can keep us on track. And you might like to sit with your shins crossed, right? And simple seated pose. If you're more comfortable sitting on your heels, that might be a nice option as well. The first 2 exercises are seated, and then the last one we stand in mountain pose. So take a moment to get yourself settled into a comfortable seated position. As I shared earlier, this Kriya set focuses a lot around the energy of shoulders, of heart area, getting around into the neck in that bridgeway between the head and the heart. So the intention around this Kriya and the benefits of it is it helps us, right, balance head and heart in a way where we have logic and feeling on the same playing field, where our intellectual mind isn't always running the show. It's very important to have an intellectual mind, but it's not always running the show. And also the feeling around the heart energy, right, is also not always, running the show, right? Being on the emotional roller coaster all the time. Emotions are wonderful. We have emotions, we feel, right? We feel these qualities like we're focusing on today. But when we get that sweet balance of head and heart, logic and feeling, we funnel our focus and concentration with even more intention, with even more attention, right? So that mind, heart goes into everything that we do. This practice in relation to our immune system, right? Generating this quality, I shared last week that when we are out of sync, we might not listen so well to what's going on within us and what might be causing us to feel out of balance in our health. So when we really align logic and feeling, head and heart, we're better able to listen to ourselves and even those really subtle sensations, right? That say, yes, this is good for me, or no, I need to rethink that for my overall optimal health. So if you're ready, I'm ready. The first exercise we do, our arms will be out to the side and T-pose. And I'm going to get my timer going here. All right, so our arms are out in a big wide T. You're going to turn your fingers up and flex through the wrists. Now on an inhale, you're going to be staying in this neutral position with palms pressing out. And on an exhale, you're going to turn your arms so fingers face forward, and then you'll go back to start on the inhale. Now the next exhale, you're going to turn your arms so fingers face behind you, and then back to the start inhale. So you're just rotating the arms with each passing phase of the breath. And we just do this for 1 minute. So when you're ready, I'm going to start my timer. So you take an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Nice. You are syncing this with your breath. So go at that pace. In Kundalini Yoga, they will often do a more rapid breathing practice. It's called breath of fire. If you're familiar with that and you want to add that, go right ahead. This still works. The benefits still come through, even if you're going nice and slow with a slower, smoother breathing style, right? Nice. It may feel better in your shoulders to actually have your arms down a little lower, right? Maybe not so parallel to the ground with the arms. Right. You're almost there. Less than 10 seconds. Thinking of what you're bringing in today, what qualities are going to be boosting your happy hormones. All right, next time you inhale, just pause. Bring those arms around in front of you. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then place the other arm on top. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then releasing those arms for a moment. All right, the second of our three, we're going to be taking the arms out to the side. Now this one is going to be where we exhale. And when we inhale, we'll be taking the arms up and overhead, but cross your wrists like an X. And it's a little more, if you can see, it's a little more in front of my forehead. Then we exhale down. Now the next time you come up for an inhale, you cross the wrists, but it's just a little more comfortably back behind your forehead, just a little bit. And then exhale down. So you do one cross in front, exhale down, inhale a little more further back, down. When you're ready, I'm going to start my timer, and away we go. Inhale, exhale. This specific exercise is said to help balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain, right? And the communication, left side, right side. Nice. Again, move at a pace of breathing that feels best for you this morning. I've been doing this every day since our last practice, last Thursday. Going to do a 40-day practice with this. I've noticed my shoulders do get happier. I definitely had a little, that lovely muscle. I've been using my shoulder muscles, feeling the first couple of days I did it. And now I'm feeling stronger around my shoulder muscles, more resilient. Beautiful. All right, friends, you're almost there. Next time you take an exhale, just exhale those hands just down to neutral. Inhale and give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug for all you do for yourself and for others. The self-care and then the care out into the world. Hugging yourself with the other arm on top. And then letting that go. All right. Last exercise. The last one in this set, we come all the way up to mountain pose. And this one gets a little more energy, a little more oomph. It involves a squat position. So your inhale will be in mountain and we'll have the arms with the wrists crossing overhead. And as you exhale, you'll move towards a squat positioning. And that might be high up here, almost like you're going towards a goddess pose, right? Or if it's very comfortable and doesn't cause any discomfort, you can even come all the way down to a low squat and then you come back up. So it's an inhale with tall mountain crossing the wrists and exhale into your squat, right? So that's where we go for 1 minute. So whenever you're ready, we inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I've been enjoying kind of this middle of the road squat because I can really be more intentional and focused on the strength of my legs and the movement up as I come back up to mountain. Right. So taking care of you here as we build a little more energy into balancing head and heart. Creating a little more space for those feel-good hormones to say, yeah. Good morning. Beautiful. Keeping it going. You're almost there. Slow it down if you need to. Just about 5 more seconds. You can probably hear me breathing. Woo. Could you imagine? They sometimes do this for 11 minutes, 30 minutes. Next time you come all the way up to mountain, just reach high across the wrists. And then exhale, let it go. You did it. Well done. Stopping my timer. Taking a pause back in mountain, just let those legs shake out as you reset mountain. Same thing you did after Breath of Joy. Right now, after the 3 exercises in that Kriya, check in. When you check in, taking in all the different parts of your experience. And knowing that whatever is coming through for you is valid. It's your truth. Feel good in recognizing that for you this morning. We also know that truth, we recognize sometimes the exercises, the stuff doesn't work for us. I've had mornings with this over the past week. I'm like, oh man, I gotta do this for a minute. I'm tired, I don't wanna do it. And I honor that. I slow things down as needed. And even if my mind thinks it's not working, I allow myself to think, well, where is it working for me? And I see that as those positive hormones, right? The serotonin, the oxytocin, the endorphins that come in to help to let me know that there is another way of feeling. Sometimes I need to just slow down to see that, to receive. So as you stilled in mountain, you might notice for yourself, naturally the breath is starting to slow down. Letting you receive a little more calmness in your pose from the up-regulating movements of the Kriya. Now in your mountain pose, to assist those shoulders, let's take the right arm over the left. Give yourself an eagle arms here. And eagle arms this morning could just be, a big hug, a hugging eagle. Or you can wrap the hands as you revolve the forearms. Beautiful. Opening those arms out. Give yourself a big, nice wide T. And then take the left arm over top. Again, maybe hugging eagle or wrapping forearms and hands. If at any time, like I just did, as we're slowing down, letting our practice integrate, let the body breathe, maybe a sigh. All right, releasing your eagle, arms out to the side, arms down, giving yourself a little wiggle. Wherever you wish to be on your mat, we're going to take a forward fold and then go to down dog. So even if you're at the back of your mat, a very gentle fold, and walk yourself out to down dog. Maybe notice after that Kriya, down dog might feel different in the upper body. Maybe you're noticing, it might be a little shaky today after the Kriya, or sometimes you feel a little stronger, different awareness. One more breath. And now letting the knees find the earth. Great child's pose here. And in this child's, if you want to keep the thighs closer together, that creates a little more space for a rounding of the spine, which could feel good. Or if you liked bringing the knees wider, thighs wider, and then letting the torso rest between the thighs, checking in to see which child's pose for you feels best as we, again, integrate all of our activity, all of our exercises this morning. Two more breaths in your child's pose. And then rising up from your child's. Swinging your legs around once again to staff pose. And then from staff pose, holding onto your shins and rounding through your spine. And then inhale, sitting tall. And just two more of those. Rounding through your spine. Inhaling tall. And then from sitting up tall, walk your hands back, lower all the way down onto your back. Letting those hands reach up behind you. Knees are going to stay bent, feet on the mat for a moment. Giving yourself a stretch through the arms. And then bringing the arms out like in goddess pose. So elbows are going to be bent. Your arms are resting on the earth or on your floor, back of the hands to the earth. And with your knees bent, windshield wipe your legs side to side. Letting the gravitational pull of the movement also offer this release and twist around the hips and the lower back. And then bringing that windshield wiper to neutral. From your goddess arms, bringing those arms alongside the body, palms can be down. After goddess, you might need to readjust those shoulder blades under your back as we get ready for bridge pose. Adjusting feet so heels feel like they're underneath the knees. Press down into those feet as you lift the hips up. Taking your time as the hips rise. You might like to adjust the shoulders even more, rolling them under, or taking the hands, interlacing them, walking the arms a little closer together, grounding arms and hands down. And then feel back into the feet, from the heels of the feet to the balls of the feet to the pads of all the toes. Press the feet down and then gently invite an opening for the whole front side of your body. The chest, the belly, the hips, the front of the thighs. 2 more breaths in your bridge. If your hands are interlaced, slowly release that so arms can be back by your side, lowering spine and hips down. And again, inviting just your own little spontaneous movement as you adjust out of bridge. Right. Let's take your right knee, just give it a hug in. Stretch the left leg all the way out, releasing that left front hip crease. And then now to the other side. Right foot can come down as you draw the left knee in, and then release the right leg all the way out. And a little hug in here. And now left foot out. Left leg can move on out to meet the right. Again, any little spontaneous improv movement here. Let yourself adjust. Settling in, getting ready for our final pose of the morning, Shavasana. The pose of rest, the pose of complete integration. The pose of receptivity. Life is that play of balance, of giving and receiving. Of offering out to others, but then also allowing yourself to be offered to receive as well. We know that our immune system can get stressed if we are always on the end of giving and doing and going and not listening to cues to slow down, even if it's just a little slow down. The healing power we have in rest, in relaxation. So settling here, receiving this moment for you, letting the body soften through the muscles, releasing any hold you might have around the bones of the body. Dialing into a frequency of relaxation and comfort that you can abide in your space, in your home, on your mat this morning. As you continue to rest, taking care of you, letting the body feel as comfortable as it can in this moment. And then letting the ears gently listen to our passage today from Journey to the Heart. And may it speak to you in whatever way it needs to in this moment or for your day. This passage is called, "We are transmitters and receivers." We are a finely tuned instrument, body, mind, and soul. We receive messages, we receive guidance, and we transmit energy, the energy of love. When we become off-center, we become like two-way radios whose tuners aren't on the right frequency. We aren't receiving or transmitting clearly. We hear and feel the static. Often instinctively, that's when we start broadcasting more loudly, sometimes screaming to be heard. Now is not the time to crank up the volume. Take the time you need to get centered, to get peaceful. What do you need to do? What do you need to feel? What healing resources do you need to utilize? What's your voice, your quiet, trustworthy inner voice, the one that speaks through your heart, urging you to do? Taking time to get centered and peaceful isn't selfish. It's not a waste of time. When we're receiving clearly, we transmit clearly, and the frequency we use is love. If time allows today for a little more rest, stay as you are, enjoying this time in the morning to just be. If it's time for you to transition into the next activity for your day, the next moment, start to come back into your breath, creating little movements through breath. Maybe little stretches through the arms and the fingers. You can even roll yourself over to one side if it's time to rise and come up to a comfortable seat. And as you take your comfortable seat, bringing your hands back into Lotus Mudra today. As we seal our time together, a metaphor I like to place on the Lotus Mudra is like the quality of giving and receiving and transmitting. If we speak into it, we are, speaking into the vast deepness of our Lotus Mudra. But then in a way, we hear ourselves. We also receive the echo, the vibration of our own sound. Simultaneously, we can give and receive joy, love, kindness, compassion. But we have to open up to the space in the moment and be present, feel into it, receive. It's been a joy spending this morning with all of you. Thank you for being part of this practice, being part of this Zoom space that we are in. From my Lotus Mudra to your Lotus Mudra, from my home and heart to your home and heart. The light in me honors that radiant, bright light in all of you. Thank you so much, friends. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.